Gather round, my friends, and let the warmth of this lantern draw you near. In the quiet of the evening, stories come alive, tales that have echoed through centuries, carrying with them the very breath of hope and wonder. Tonight, I want to share one such story, a tale not just of water and wood, but of unwavering faith against an overwhelming tide. Imagine a man, Noah, a righteous man in a world that had lost its way. He walked with God, and God spoke to him, not in a whisper, but with a command that would shake the foundations of the earth. "Build an ark," God said, "for I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens." Can you picture it? The sheer scale of such a task. Felling ancient trees, shaping massive timbers, all while the world around him scoffed and jeered. They saw a fool building a ship on dry land. But Noah saw a promise. He heard a voice that others could not, and he obeyed. Day after day, he toiled, his hands rough, his back aching, but his spirit firm. He wasn't just building a vessel of gopher wood. He was crafting a vessel of hope. He was building a future. And then the animals came. In pairs, they journeyed, drawn by an unseen hand, a silent parade of every living creature. The great elephants and the tiny hummingbirds, the fierce lions and the gentle lambs, all finding their place within the ark's embrace. It was a living testament to a divine plan, a sanctuary preparing for the storm. When the last creature was aboard and the great door was sealed, the world held its breath. For 7 days there was a profound silence, and then the first drop of rain fell. It was not a gentle shower, but a deluge. The fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. The water rose, relentless and unforgiving, covering the hills, then the mountains, until all that remained was a vast, swirling ocean. The sounds of the old world faded, replaced by the drumming of the rain and the creak of the ark as it was lifted, floating upon the very waters meant for destruction. Inside that wooden haven, surrounded by the breath and pulse of life, Noah and his family waited. They floated on a sea of God's judgment, yet they were cradled in His mercy. Think of the faith required to endure that time, to trust that the sun would shine again, that land would reappear from the deep. They were adrift, but they were not lost. They were witnesses to a world being washed clean, and carriers of the seed for a new beginning. Finally, after many days, the rains ceased. The waters began to recede. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Can you feel the moment when Noah opened the window? The fresh, clean air. He sent out a raven, then a dove. When the dove returned with a freshly plucked olive leaf, it was more than just a sign of land. It was a message of peace, a promise from God that the ordeal was over. When they stepped out onto the dry ground, under the arc of a magnificent rainbow, it was a covenant painted across the sky, a promise that God would never again destroy the earth with a flood. That story, my friends, isn't just about a great flood. It's about hearing God's voice in the noise of the world. It's about the courage to build when others doubt, the faith to endure the storm, and the beautiful, unwavering promise of a new beginning. May you always find your own olive branch of hope, no matter the storm you face. Thanks for listening.